Taking off the autofocus and doing this by hand. There we go. So we can see at the beginning of this video, we were working on prime. Prime equals to a numeric value in numbers, meaning A is 1 and Z is 26. I'm not reversing it or doing anything else right now. I'm just doing the basic layman terms, what any child can do. When we do it to the Pythagorean, 6 and 1, 1 and 8, 1 and 3 equals 7, 9, and 4. In a numeric value where no numbers or numbers repeat or letters in that number, we end up with 61, the church, the moons of Saturn, 19, artificial intelligence, 1 and 6, the spirit of 76, the half-life of the water system through the sun of Neptune, and the numbers tell me all this. To create this, we need alternate current because it will create 91. To create this, we now know that it passes through the moon in a simple mathematical equation of 6 minus 1, 6 plus 1 equals 57, and that is G and E. 79945 is 34 DC, and there's another numeric value. This is DC. It's created from the numbers in AC, okay? And I'm not going to say whether AC is bigger than DC because here we need to create an X to get the four corners. Here we have the half-life. It is a split created world where 1 meets 2 coming together. 7, 9 equals to 16 and 4. 25 equals to Earth. We're not going to count the other one because it duplicates. 25, the Earth, the Church, Nibiru is all prime, one of all. We're going to go on to the word God now. 7, 5, and 4. 7, 15, and 4 equals to 26. And the short count is 7, 6, and 4, which we're going to get down here, equals to 17. This is the letter Q, usually found with the letter U, but in many other languages they do not use the U, and we will have to break this down in a giant computer to do all of this because it's way too much paperwork in front of me. I need to see it all in a circle so I can just keep seeing my mind going back and forth and up and down and all this stuff. I need to spin my head around. So in the word God, we have the freedom of 76 because it is 76 that will create this. Where do we get this numeric fashion? This is the reverse of God. It'll be 3 letters. Every time you see a reverse, just multiply every letter or use every letter as a value of 27. So God is 26. The connecting part of God is a God, and that would be 26 and 1 will equal to your 27. That is your total. Everything has to total 27 to have a completion of a 1-letter reverse alphabet. In the alphabets of using A through Z, 1 through 26, 1 and 26 equals to 27. It's funny that Nibiru is 37, and the reverse and mirror of the 36 alphanumerics, okay, alphanumerics of 36, A through Z 26, and 1 through 10, or 1 through 10 using 0 as a number. And 0 is that 1 plus 9 equals to 10, 10-number sphere. So now we have 4. D plus 15 equals to 19, ends up with G26. We're just adding it one way, then we're going to add it the other way, and then we total it. Shows me that the passage of 76 is Christ the Gateway, which is through Uranus, and this flips out to 64, so that 64 is a mathematical diagram, and it's 8 by 8 area squared to a chess game where there's 2 people playing. But in this world, there's more than 2 people playing, because when you play chess, okay, against an opponent, you have to be the first opponent and play against yourself. That's the first object. When we do the plus and minus, right, of this, we added it this way. 7 plus 15 equals to 26. This will equal to life at the gateway. 29 is your birth. These two, and then 26 equals to 55. Then we add 4, 15, and 7 backwards. Then we minus it. 7 minus 26 plus 26, artificial intelligence, command and create, your DNA in creation, plus and minus 22 and 19, your DNA, 26 and 4, 30 and 22. Life and creation of A and I, area space, communication is BC. This will also create 164. Why do I say 104? Because 10-4 is JD. If you want to go Jack of Diamonds, It's also 10-4, meaning communication inside of the CB codes. Okay, Roger Rabbit, rabbit ears, the letter R. Now we're going to use God in another fashion. G as number 7. O. Oh, anyways, before I get on to this one, I want to finish with this one. There's other ways to do this also without using the reverse as what I did. The reverse of this would be 20. The reverse of this would be 12, making it 32. The reverse of this would be 23, and the total would be 55 again. The reverse of this is 20. The reverse of this is 12, equals to 32. The reverse of this is 23, equals to the same 20. Excuse me, let me do this again. The reverse of this is 20. The reverse of this is 12, is 32, and 23 equal to 55. The same thing as if I add it up. Now, when we go down to down over here, this is the Pythagorean for God. 7 times 6, 42. 42 times 4, 168. 168 hours in a week. Alternate gateway, 10 and 7 equals to creation of the Q, whatever that might be. Then we have G7, O6, and 417. 7, 6, and 4 equals to this. This will be your numeric same value fashion for alternate current. It'll create your A and I and the numeric value inside Nibiru. When we do it the opposite way, we get, why do I have 21 over here? 17 and 4 was 21. 13 and 10 was 23. 7 and 17 is 24. I did not do the count backwards. What I should have did, oh yeah, I did do the count backwards. I did it this way, and then I added it up. 17, do you follow what I'm saying? D, 7G, 13, 17, then D4, O10, because it's 6. 4 and 6 is 10. 4, 6, and 7 is 17. I add up to 31. Alternate current all recreated, and it goes with the numbers we did yesterday. Here it is, 68, the split of the 7th gate. And who splits the 7th gate? Back to God again. In Gematria, we have 7, 9, which is the red sun. 7, 9, and 4 equals to 13. That's in Gematria. Okay, I put it on pause for a minute. And we're going to see if I have to, this is the autofocus. And okay, so we're going to go back to this picture over here. We got back to the area here where we have to add on 6 and 66, 76, 86, 92. That becomes the birth in God. And 66 added onto this will become 6 and 2, 8. 6 and 2, 8. And we get 6 over here will become 3. It'll now say the church in alternate current for Abba, the split at the 7th gate of the dog. Gates of Omega divide. Now we get 724 in Gematria. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. If we multiply the whole thing, we get to the numeric value of 56. Now we bring this to the 7th gate. It's alpha beta creation, A and B, creating the E world. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2. And the reason I say that is because plus and multiply will create this sign over here, the sign of 8. If you have stop, you have go. Stop and go. Stop equals to 39 inside of Pluto. 15 is inside Mars of the half-life. The tops, pots. So we're going to go 39 and 31 equals to 70. We can also minus it. We can play the game of using 2 letters and 2 letters against each other. We can go all into red if we want, or into black. If we have black, T and O are the black of 35, and P and S are in red of 35. So we see it's equal. I don't know what this all means. I'm just showing you all the numeric equations that are possibly created for a better understanding of how words and numbers come together. And this is a big tablet, and it's a lot of work for one person, so I'm just bringing out little pieces at a time. Go has the value of 22, where 0 is 15, 6, and G is 7, spirit is 76, go. The total is 92, birth, or 48, the sun in birth. At the same time, this over here will give me a 6, will create 98, and that is the high father of birth. When we come down into God over here, where it becomes -1, plus 6 and 4. Now I'm trying to figure out myself why I did do this over here. I don't know what the reason is I did this. Let me think about it, put it on pause. Since I don't remember, I'm going to skip it over. Here we have 7 plus 2 is 9, plus 4 is 13. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 7 is 13. Here we have the gates and birth. And here we have 4. We're going to create a 4 over here in this fashion. This will be 16, this will be 20. Birth of 29 and 20. Now when I see this happening, reverse down to 20, it becomes like this. What it means is if I go up or if I go down, I come up with the same number. If I say 6 and I want to get to 6, I either use a 0 plus 6 is 6, or 9 plus 6 is 15, 1 and 5 is 6. So that's what this fashion is over here. It's telling me a landing area. I'm landing in a certain area. So that 0 will not be used as the 6 in this equation. It'll be used as a 0 and a 9, which 0 and 9 will always revert to 6 because of the I formation. To the left and to the right of an area is needed 3 and 3 to create this area. And I'm going to show you, I have this in one of the designs over here. Okay. I create the top area where there's no extra space, the 7th gate between gematria on the rise, 6 up to 7 down to 6. But we must start it at 4 because only until 4, if I have this designed correctly in this book, let me see how far I have to go back in this book. Oh, I have it over here where 7 is the top level. 6 is the next level. You see this? There's no way to, the only time I can make anything stand on its own, see the A that's designed, is when I go 6, 5, and 4. The 7 is the split. It's an area of split. So the area is right over here, inside 6 and 6. So we have 5 and 4, 9, the sun. 5 and 4, 4, 5, and 6 is 15. 4, 5, 6, and 7 is 22. 5 and 6, 11. 7 come 11. 7 and 2, here comes the red sun through the 7th gate. Because we have the top of the pyramid. We need to understand the top of the pyramid, the last few bricks. Okay, if I have to make a hole in an eye in the last few bricks, or if I needed to do it on an angle, okay, the only way to open up the angle is to take out, using number 7 and spraying out through number 6. Using number 7 as the blockade and spraying out through number 6. So we need to, do you follow what I'm saying? You go through 4 and you come out this way. Anyways, we're going to continue on the word God. So when we continue on the word God, we now have the plus and the minus. Over here, we added it. Now we have 4, 6, 4 in this area, 4, 6, 4. This will be my science lab. And the reason it's a science lab is because 4 times 6 is 24. 4 plus 6 is 10, creating 34, or the DC world. But more or less, when I create an X, or the reverse of 24, it is creation 1 between 2. And 8 by 8 is 64. It's the chessboard. It's the 2 sides in order for area space to make a replica. Okay, for me, everything is rectangular, and replica creates levels. Here we have 23 for BC creation. This is your Venus birth. Everything with 2 has to do with Venus. Everything with 1 has to do with alpha spirit. And alpha spirit is inside everything of 2, 3. 1 is inside 2, creating 3. And then from 3 we create. Okay. So we have the plus and we have the minus. In the plus we have 17, 15, and 20. This is your gateway inside Mars. And I keep forgetting what the 20 world is. It comes and it goes, but it is your G and your T. It's another bridge. It's the same gateway as the T. 20 reverts to the to God, always reverts to God, because 26 is God. 2 times 6, 2 plus 6 is 12 and 8. And that 12 and 8 will reflect the corners of Rubik's Cube, because on every corner of Rubik's Cube is 3. There's 4 corners, that's 12. And in between, there's only 2 colors. 2 colors, 2 colors, 2 colors, that's 8. 12 and 8 creates 20, minus its 0, 4, which is the delta angle. Something to do with the pyramid, something to do with Mars and Saturn. When you minus these numbers, okay, 13 from 4, we end up with 369, and we end up with 18. Here we end up 52. Earth's heart in the Gematria gateway. We have communication to the 10 and 8 Zizwit through the sun, into the resident angel that is made through the sun. 3 times 8, 2 times 8 is 360, 3 times 8 is 54, 4 times 8 is 72, in which 4 by 8 is 32 equals to 5. So this will create 45. 4 times 8, 32, 3 and 2, 5. 3 times 2 is 6, creating man. 4 times 1 is 4. So now we have 45, saying the foxhole in the sun. We have the multiplication and the addition. When we add it, it becomes 69. When we minus it, it's DC. So DC is the rotation. This will create 7 and 15. 7 and 15, go. Now we bring God into Chaldean, right? Chaldean. The design of a fish, I'm just bringing this up because the design of a fish before everything opens up is it gets smaller, and then the tail opens everything up, and the tail is the power. Anyways, inside a Chaldean, we end up with 3 times 7, 21 times 4 is 84, and we end up with 3 inside Chaldean is for G, and inside Chaldean O is 7, and inside Chaldean D is 4. So we end up with 84 and the 14, and that becomes DNA, and that becomes Pluto, and that becomes God. I don't know, I have 84 and 17. It should be 84 and 14. I don't know why I have 17 over there. I'm going to change this. It's been done about a week ago, this thing, so I'm going to just... And I like what this one says. I like what it says, 84 and 14. So the DNA, 5 and 3 electric company, 32 is the freezing point, and 4. So it becomes 5 and 4. When you use it to a multiply, the multiply creates the X, and it shows me this angle, the slide all the way in. Distance, the greatest diameter. So this is the slide. 4 by 8 is the 32 freezing point, sliding it at 0. Because Fahrenheit is F6. Celsius is C3, F6, C3, 5 and 3 electric company. God is now 3, 7, and 4. 74 is the Christ. Multiply this, becomes 222, and it becomes 1/8 of 1776. I still don't know what it means. It's 111 when it's cut in half to the lower section, and the 111 of 35 and 37 and 39 is the split of the 36 number scale, and it is a mirror image connecting 16 and 19, or 16 and 21, 37, 18 and 19, 37, 17 and 20, 37. And that's the replica number inside roulette, and it shows you a design for it. So we bring God over to here, and we have 3 and 7 is 10, 14. 14 and 10 is 24, and 3 is 27. 3, 7 is 14. I don't know why, again, I come up with 17. I don't know why I did that 17 twice. I'm going to take it off this one also. I don't know why. There must be a reason. Then we reverse it, and we end up adding 4 plus 7 is 11, plus 3 is 14. Now we minus and add this. A little bit different than what Messer is doing. So we add this, I get 18. We get resident angel. The 10 heaven, the 2 worlds, 10 and 8, the split heavens, right? Of 4 and 4, and 2 worlds of 5 and 5, because it's a replica of the 1, right? It's 5 and 5 because it's 44 and it's 55. It's 44 and 55. And don't forget what the payouts when you play the game of craps. 4 and 4, if I remember, is 8 to 1, and 5 and 5 is is 9. I don't remember the odds, but they're going to tell you something through the odds. Here is alpha, beta in the high sky, Q, U coming together. Q, U, and R, car like Quran, comes together through Chaldean. This is based in the 8th world. So if this is based in the 8th world, I'm missing 514 over here. 514 area code, Montreal, north of Montreal, where all the waterworks are created. Chaldean, I bring everything to the 8s. Gematria, I bring everything to the 7s. Numbers, I bring everything to the, if I want 27 reverse. Chaldean reverse is 9. Gematria reverse is 8. And number reverse is 10. I add the first with the last. 1 and 9 is 10 and 8. Add and minus becomes 8 and 6, and this is the gateway. Add and minus, this will become my solids and stripes and pull, because Chaldean goes as high as number 8, so it's 8 plus 1 is 9, minus 1 is 7, 9 and 7, you get the birth at the gateway inside Chaldean. You get separation at the gate in Gematria, you get the two worlds in numbers. So this is the way I can create God. But there's so much more to do in equations, and we have to break the ice. Melt is 50, ocean equals 35, salt equals 52, sand is in the church, wood is in the moon, metal is in Mars, fire is in the church, salt is in the heart of Nibiru and earth. Electric company, any craps 1 and 2, 1 and 1 is inside the ocean. They say when the ice melts, it's natural water and there's no salt inside the melt. Okay, so I don't know what that whole means. I'd have to understand the structure of water and everything else. And like I said, I'm going to put this up on here. Like I've said for the last 17 minutes. Whoop, why is it spinning like that? So we spoke for 20 minutes over here. And I can't explain you everything. I just know the numbers are telling us stories, and through these stories, there are more stories that will explain our creation. And we need to get back to the old vibration. We need to eliminate or add something to the world we are in, or like they showed in the movies, if we melt the ice, um, that it's no good. But I think that if the ice is melting, that it is good, and it's reshifting the earth back to our natural habitat or ancient habitat. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching this video.